Story 1. 9. 7K. R. Malicious Compliance. Posted by UDO_Bean. 17 hours ago. Exclamation mark. Update. Boss told me to deep clean the back. And to not come to front for any reason, so I did. Lock. Starting off. Sorry for not updating on Friday, 10th. Like I said I would. Life got in the way, plus several events have happened. This will be a decent size update. Friday rolled around after I was coming back from the small vacation I had. The location had no service. I greeted some of the servers I'm cool with, and they all gave me an oh crap look, since apparently my boss had been trying to call me to come open and close on Wednesday and Thursday. Obviously, I didn't know this since I had no service where I had been at the time. I make my way to the boss expecting to get a freak out from him, which surprisingly he didn't have. He welcomed me back and asked a couple common questions about my trip. After 5 minutes of talking, he springs on me. Since you didn't come in on Wednesday and Thursday, you need to come in Monday and Tuesday of next week, to which I replied, did you schedule me for those days? And he immediately replies with, no, but I know you have nothing to do since you're just a teen. At this point my face just looked like I had seen a bear riding a bicycle while juggling bowling pins. Oh. I was absolutely amazed at how those words came out of his mouth with such ease, like he really believed he had any sort of power over me. I paused for a moment and said, no. I don't think I will be doing that since I'm not currently scheduled on those days. I will not show up on those days. He then tried to argue that he had to come in on his days off to cover my shifts. I learned from the servers that he never showed up. The last thing I said to him before I started working was, this isn't my problem. Hire more people. And walked off. Saturdays, 11th. Today was looking like it was going to be pretty mundane. Busy floor. A lot of food needing to be run. Tables that need to be put back together. Pretty usual tasks of the job until my boss showed up and started barking orders, even though the restaurant was very packed and we needed all hands on deck, but obviously that's not what he wanted. He could care less if the restaurant went to the toilet, all he cared about was being in control. The boss tells me and a server to go clean the storage closet, and if we don't we can just be cut. We both reluctantly go and do it since he had 4 tables to attend to, and I wanted to help him so he wouldn't get bad tips just because a man-child wants to give tasks that can be done later and lay it out on the table for us to see. Super Bowl Sunday, 12th, was supposed to be a really slow day since we don't have any TVs on the walls and we don't serve bar food. But as soon as church got out we were super slammed to the point you couldn't see the front door. It stayed like that until 3 p.m, and I was just ready to leave. So I clocked out on time as you would at any other job, and my boss saw that and said, you are not being a team player right now. You are just going abandon ship just like that. To which I reply, well yeah. You only have me for the time scheduled. Not for when it's convenient for you. I have no problem working over the time I'm scheduled for, but I just can't with his snarky remarks and annoying temper tantrums he has on the daily. I'm just very done with him, so why would I go above and beyond for him? Plus it was the Super Bowl. And of course, I had plans. I wanted to hang out with my friends and not work. Thursday, 16th. I received an email from the new place I'm going to be working at and I got the job. The new job will be paying me $16 per hour, double of what I've been making. I also start Monday. I had gone to work the same day and told my boss, I will not be able to put my 2 weeks in. However, I will work through this Sunday and that will be my last day working for you. I hope that is enough time for you, so you can find my replacement, and if this doesn't work for you, I can always make my last day be today. Since Texas doesn't require employees and employers to submit a 2-week resignation, he starts to freak out since Monday to Thursday of next week. The restaurant has a bunch of large reservations. He replies with, "If you stay with us, I can give you a big raise for all your hard work." My eyebrows raise since there is no way that his raise will match my new employer's rate. Intrigued, I ask, "How much were you thinking of giving me?" Drumroll. Clears throat. "I can give you a 25C raise, which will make your paychecks a little bit heavier." I am dumbfounded. My brain packed up and jumped off my head. This was the best deal I could have gotten ever. Exclamation mark. Exclamation mark. Exclamation mark. Screw the new job who can say no to an extra $20 to their paycheck. Kidding. I politely declined and told him I had already made up my mind and for the rest of my shift. He was in the office scrambling around posting job listings and looking for applications. It's really crazy how someone goes from being a complete dictator to a servant when they lose their power. These last 2 days H has been nothing but cupcakes and sunshine because he knows I can leave whenever I like. Thank you all for reading. I will try to post an update this Sunday on my last day working here if there is a big enough event. 609 comments. Award. Share. Save. 323 people here. If you are enjoying this video, like, comment, subscribe, and turn notifications on. Story 2. $1. 8K. R. Malicious Compliance. Posted by U. Bennett 1000. 1 day ago. A little light reading. SOC. About 10 or so years ago I started in a new job that is quite technical, with lots of technical reference documents that are updated regularly. My manager was the type of guy who would expect his staff to work that little bit extra each day and would make snide comments about you if you had the audacity to leave work on time. Company policy states that if we did work overtime, it had to be submitted within 30 days or it would be denied. He loved being the bearer of bad news if someone missed that deadline. And all overtime had to be approved prior by management. Anyway, at my yearly review, he mentioned it would hurt if I took home a document or two to read over weekends. Confirming just an hour a night of light reading would be quite beneficial. He even noted this as a development opportunity in my review. So I followed his recommendation and would read for an hour each night before bed. He took pleasure in reminding me about it in front of coworkers and smugly praising me for finally listening to him. Then, just before the 30-day deadline, I submitted my overtime of 1 hour each night, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, for the last 4 weeks. He was furious, but knew there was nothing he could do as it was documented in my review. I was directed to do my reading during business hours. After that, the kicker. Company policy also states overtime not merged with my normal work hours is paid at a minimum of 4 hours pay at overtime rates. Meaning I got 7 hours pay for every hour I read each night. Quite lucrative in the end. 47 comments. Award. Share. Save. 19 people here. If you're enjoying this video, like, comment, subscribe, and turn notifications on. Story 3. $11. 6K. R. Malicious Compliance. Posted by U. _pound_822. 2 days ago. Do not leave your classroom without asking permission. MOC. This happened yesterday. I teach at a public school. Occasionally, in the hallway I teach in, there is an overwhelming sewage smell. Normally it's an inconvenience, but not so drastic we have to move rooms. Yesterday, it was the worst I've ever experienced since I started teaching at this school. Teachers immediately tried to move their classrooms, get out of the hallway, etc., etc. One class moved into the principal's conference room. And from the gist of it, our principal was livid that her space was invaded. We received an email stating that we are not to move our classes without notifying our supervisor. Now that seems logical. However, the email went on to say that we are not allowed to leave our room to stroll. visit another classroom, etc., etc., without speaking to our supervisor or the front office. I was absolutely fired up when I read this email. I wanted to make her regret sending it as quickly as possible. I notified everyone in my hallway that they should be calling the office every time they needed to use the bathroom. I encouraged as many teachers as possible to constantly be calling to notify of their movement around campus. Within 2 hours, I had called the front office 4 times. Once even just to let them know I was walking down to the front office. Most the teachers in my building called a couple times. Once, when the main receptionist was on lunch and another support staff was covering for her, I called to let them know I was going to the bathroom, and the woman on the other end sounded so confused. "Do you need something?" she awkwardly asked. I explained it was that per the email it was expected for us to notify the office of our bathroom breaks. She chuckled and told me to have a good time. Within 3 hours we received another staff-wide email explaining, okay, some clarification, and that we should not call the office if we need to go to the bathroom, have a stroll on campus, or visit another teacher's classroom. I walked down to the office later that day with the biggest grin on my face, and every support staff knew exactly why I was so happy. We all had a good laugh. One of the support staff said to me that the principal said, "I didn't mean it literally. If you are going to put something in writing to a group of professional educators and be aggressive and rude about it, you better know exactly what you are saying." Zany face. 249 comments. Award. Share. Save. 19 people here. If you are enjoying this video, like, comment, subscribe, and turn notifications on. Story 4. $1. 6K. Malicious Compliance. Posted by Ulila. 1 day ago. You mean all of our patients don't have seizures? Question mark. My bad. MOC. Once I worked for this lady who owned a home health agency, and I was running it for her. At first it was not that bad. Margaret liked me and had me doing a lot of things that maybe went above my pay grade. But I didn't mind so much because I was learning a lot and it didn't involve any direct patient care. In 2014, when I first started, she had an LVN named Nena. She and I got along quite well, and we were good work buddies. Sometimes patients would go to her office and she would shut the door. IDK why she bothered to do that when it was obvious that she was admitting them. I wasn't exactly comfortable with that, because you are supposed to be an RN. But at least she was a nurse. After it turned into 2015, though, Boss M decided to put N out in the field, so I was the only one in the office. Shortly after that happened, M caught me on my break and said, "Hey, I need you to do me a favor. There's a patient in your office, and I need you to take his vitals and write down all his meds and put him in the system." I said, "Margaret, are you actually trying to get me to admit this guy? Question mark. That is so far out of my scope of practice that I would lose my massage license and maybe go to jail." "Oh, common, you know you can do it. You have the knowledge and experience." I said, "You can try to flatter me all you want, but him not doing it. You're an RN. Why don't you do it so nobody gets in trouble with the state?" Exclamation mark. She said, "Okay. I will give you a $50 bonus for every one of those you do." I said, "Really? $50? Wow. Okay then. I'm in." I asked her how exactly IW as to come up with diagnoses, though with no MD report. She said to just Google the meds and see what they are prescribed for and get the diagnosis from that. That is so illegal I almost called my mom to ask her to put money in my commissary. Lol. So anyway, I did end up doing it that one time. But I knew I had to outsmart her for ethics' sake, or I would have been stuck doing those for the rest of eternity and probably end up with legal problems for $50 a pop. I had to do something. but I wasn't sure what that was. Finally, I decided to deliberately make an error. The patient said he was on gabapentin. I know what that is. And I also know why it is prescribed. It could be for multiple reasons. Mostly pain or anxiety. So I put down seizure disorder. The rarest problem it's prescribed for. When M saw what I had put in, she started yelling at me, "You know that's for neuropathy!" Exclamation mark. Exclamation mark. Nerve pain. I said, well, I don't know that actually. There are a bunch of uses for gabapentin and seizure codes pay more than neuropathy ones. Don't they? According to the coding guide, they do. I know how important it is for you to make you more money. Right? Question mark. And guess what? Yeah, no. I noticed that more than half of our patients are taking that. So I went back and changed all their diagnoses to say seizure disorder. And exported all the corrected assessments to the state already. Aren't you proud of me? Exclamation mark. Of course I did nothing of the sort. Lol. She literally lost her wig. And screamed, "Do you have any idea how many ADRs I'm going to get?" Question mark. It will take forever. I will have to have someone scan every last one of those records and submit him to Medicare. Meanwhile, they won't pay me. Exclamation mark. Arg. I shrugged and said, well, I would probably estimate around 50. If the numbers add up. Okay. She screamed. That's it. I'll never ask you to do that ever again. And give me back that $50. Really? Oh no. Are you sure? Oof, wow. I'm so sorry I messed up. My bad. I know she saw me laughing at her as I walked away. There were cameras everywhere. After all. 118 comments. Award. Share. Save. 34 people here. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, like, comment, subscribe, and turn notifications on.